Welcome back. Assuming I get this video edited and uploaded in time, it will be my last video of 2023. What I plan to do here is play a rated rapid game, which has kind of been the theme of my channel this year, trying to get my rapid score back up by playing E4 after switching from D4. But real quick, I just want to say that I think my chess goals for 2024 is to not get any worse. Last year, I set the goal for this year of hitting 1400 rapid, but that didn't happen. I'm still at 1276. But at my age, I think the goal of just not getting worse should be enough for me. As always in these videos, I don't know what kind of opponent I'll get or what kind of opening they will play, but I promise to do my best. I'm going to try to look for hanging pieces, mine and theirs. But thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully you've had a good 2023, and hopefully you will have an even better 2024. Let's click play and see what we get. I got the white pieces, so we will play E4. My opponent is rated a little bit higher than me, but not significantly so. Okay, we've got this bishop out. This is always annoying because it discourages me from playing F4, which is what I want my next move to be. And I do not want to get into the Italian game or the Giuoco piano. I'm going to put this bishop out and bring it back down this way when they put the B5 pawn up. Oh, I thought they were going to play the B5 pawn, but they didn't. Okay, but I am ready to drop the bishop back if I need to. Oh, it looks like they're about to try this, aren't they? Should I prevent that? Oh, they can't do it right now because of my queen. My queen is guarding that knight spot, so I'm going to go ahead and play F4 then. They didn't take it, but I can't castle as long as that bishop's sitting there. Oh, that's frustrating. See, can I just take this pawn? I think I can. I think if they take back, then I can push D4. Let's try that. If they take back with the knight... Oh, no, my bishop's hanging. I can't do that. That's frustrating. Okay, well, let's drop the bishop back one then, and then see if I can play D4. Okay, yeah, I just realized I would have just straight up lost my bishop had I played D4 then. So that was ill-advised of me. Well, I was about to play here. If they take it, which I assume they will, I'm going to take back with my queen. Surely they won't trade this off, will they? I don't think they will. Let's go here. Again, I assume they're going to take. I'll take here, and then I'll find a way to dislodge that bishop. Okay, let's go here. Now they might play D6 now, so their bishop can come this way. I don't know if they will, but they might. They did play D6. Okay, I'm getting pretty good at predicting this. Now what I was about to do is drop this knight in here to ask that bishop to run away. I assume if I challenge with this bishop that they'll trade, or would they do a danger levels thing first? I don't know, but I want to get my dark squared bishop out and see if they want to trade. If they do bring the dark squared bishop here, I guess I could drop into one of those areas, either G3 or F2. Oh, they took the knight. Okay, so I am going to be able to castle. I assume they're still about to put a bishop here, or a knight. Okay, they've castled. Then I am also going to castle, and I'm prepared to move my queen if necessary if their bishop attacks. They're not in a big hurry with that bishop, but the bishop wants to trade off with my bishop. I think I'd be okay with that, wouldn't I? Because it would correct my pawn problem here, where I have the doubled pawns. With that in mind, I should probably try to keep more of these on light squares. Most of them are on light squares right now. Let's go ahead and drop the queen back a little bit so I can come around this way and maybe aim over here. Okay, they're having a think about this one, probably trying to decide whether that's worth it for them. And as always, I cut out long sections of silence when nobody's making any moves or saying anything. Okay, they have brought their queen up here. What is the idea? Did they just, or are they trying to go this way with it? That does look dangerous, doesn't it? You know what? Let's go ahead and trade off that bishop. And I can live with doubled pawns. This pawn is still going to patrol this area, and I've got most of my pawns on light squares, but their pawns are going to block my bishop from getting through. Their knight might still be able to get in here somehow. Let's see. Okay, they have a backward pawn here. Is there any way that I can get to it? Not immediately. I can threaten it, but they obviously have a piece on that right now. But I was about to move this over and just line up with this when the need arises. I might want to try a rook lift. I almost never do a rook lift. Okay, see, that's where I was talking about this pawn coming in handy, because I still have a c pawn, even if I take now. So let's take now, and now I have a flank pawn. Here, it's isolated, but it's got a rook behind it. They can't move that pawn right now, their D pawn, because it's protecting their C pawn. So is it time to try a rook lift? Let's see, can their knight attack it? Not really. Actually, I could just line up right there. Why don't I try that? try to line this up here. Now the rook could attack it then. I mean, the knight could attack it once I move it over. But it's an idea, isn't it? I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's an idea. Now I assume my opponent is strongly considering playing b4. If they do, I will have to push my pawn past it rather than taking because nothing's defending this rook. Oh, they're coming after the bishop. Well, that's disappointing because I liked my bishop. Can I just move the bishop? They can't do anything to me here. Or are they thinking about dropping the queen in for that? Well, not if I put my bishop here. Oh, I guess they can pull the pawn up if I do that. Oh, that's not good. You know what? Yeah, I think if they pull their g-pawn up, I can drop it back and it can always escape. But if they don't, I'm very strongly considering pushing this rook over to the g-file. Okay, well now I think I can pin that knight, like so. It's protected two different ways and their knight is pinned, although they can protect the knight by pushing this pawn. And they're going to have to be careful where their queen is because their queen's now the only thing defending their d-pawn. But for all I know, they're thinking of advancing their d-pawn. Yeah, I'm expecting h5 here to defend the knight. Or I guess I suppose they could move the queen here thinking about a mate, in which case I guess I would... Oh, they pulled a different pawn than I expected. That's interesting. I did not expect that pawn. Okay, can I push past it now? Oh no, but their knight will not take there. I think I can push past. If they take, I'll take. And then if their knight takes, their queen is pinned. Let's try that. They did take. Okay, I'm going to take here, and then I think be able to pull this back, because again, their knight is pinned. But we are currently still even on material. The bishop needs defending, doesn't it? I was talking about pulling it back. I suppose I can still do that. I think I'm still going to do that. I know their rook has an open file, but I don't think it has significant control over the open file. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not a check or anything, so I could win the queen. They could probably get the queen out of the pin and then throw another pawn. But if they did that, ooh, yeah, that starts getting dicey then. Oh, they're going to try to bring another rook over here. Okay, I got to be careful for that then, don't I? I think they're aiming for e6 with that rook, and we're both down to under 5 minutes. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to push this pawn, and then I will take back with the queen, I suppose. But yeah, I'm going to get into time trouble here if I'm not careful. If I had to evaluate this position, I don't think I would say that I'm losing, but I don't think I'm doing really well. I might be losing. Let's see. I don't know what the real downside of that is. I don't think they can immediately threaten me with the rook. They can still bring this rook over, but then I can pin the rook and aim at that pawn. But yeah, I'm getting into danger down here. I'm going to have to be careful with that. Oh, they just challenged the queen immediately. Okay, but I can take. Wait, was that a blunder? Oh, please tell me that was a blunder. I'm taking it. Hopefully that wasn't some sort of trap. I think I'm okay on my back rank with just the one rook pointed down there. And I guess they could try to pin my bishop at this point, but then I think I could get out of the pin pretty easily by moving back over to f4 with my queen, or just moving up and checking. Oh, they came in this way. Okay. Oh, I wish that pawn wasn't there. I would sure love to check right here, wouldn't I? But I can just move up one and check. Let's see where the king goes if I move here. Or will they bring the rook back to block? They might. They didn't. Okay. I think this pawn's a goner, or should I launch it forward? They haven't moved their queen, so that knight is still pinned. I think that's the only way I can save this pawn. Not really save it, but you get the idea. But yeah, now we're down to 3 minutes. If they take, I guess I'll take with my queen. Oh no, then they'll get my bishop. Dang it. Oh, they've moved their queen over one. Okay, so the knight isn't pinned anymore. And they are still aiming at the bishop. Let's pull this bishop back here. And I think I'm going to have to bring this rook over in a second. But I got to be careful about... Oh, they just picked up my rook. Oh, wow. And that's check. Did I just lose? I think I just lost. Yeah, I can't get out of that. Okay. Well, they have to take that, and then I have to block with this. All right. Well, I have lost 13 more points to end my year. They moved their queen over, and I should have asked myself what they were aiming at, but I did not. That rook had seemed safe on the back rank for a while, and I got it in my head that it was safe, and they aimed at it without, and I didn't notice. Okay, but apparently other things went wrong. Let's check the game review real quick and see if we can learn something. Okay, and just so you know, yes, I am getting accustomed to losing on camera, so I don't fall apart like I did the first several times that it happened. It says that I had 4 misses and a blunder. My opponent had 3 blunders and 3 mistakes. And we played very similarly, but I made a huge blunder. It wasn't the last move. Oh yeah, I think that right there is when I didn't notice that they were after my rook. Okay, I bet that was it. But they gave me a big advantage that I missed here. Again, the number pops up in the exact wrong place. I'm trying to click on where the peak is, but I'm not sure if that's it. Well, the +2 here by the game review matches up with the chart, but the actual evaluation by Stockfish Lite says that it is 0.85. And the best way to take advantage of that would be bishop captures h6. And then they would take, and then I would take the knight, and they would take my queen, and I would take their queen, and their king would come after my rook. Okay, I think what it's saying is I would pick up a point of material here if they took back. And Stockfish seems to think that they would take back, because then I would be giving up a bishop for a pawn and a knight, and then we would do a queen trade as part of that. I don't know. But it's not as big of an advantage as the game review made it out to be, so I don't feel bad for missing it. But queen to e2 was not among my top 5 moves. My next best move would have been rook to b1. Okay, I thought the bishop was safe here because of the pawn, and I wanted to undouble the pawns if they traded there. Queen to g3, which would have pinned the g-pawn. It says if I played queen to g3, they would just move the king over, and so that pawn wouldn't be pinned anymore. And then I would take this bishop instead, which would give them an extra center pawn. I don't know. I thought I'd already done good by getting rid of their center pawn. Or going ahead and taking the bishop now, or playing a4. Okay, so that was a miss, and we're back to dead even. But my opponent blundered here, and I had either plus 3.7 or 1.5, depending on which Stockfish you trust. There's nothing there indicating to me which one is stronger. They're both Stockfish 16. And they're both running at the same depth according to the settings that I set. So yeah, I don't know which one is correct, but anyway, let's say it's +2 because this is the one I usually go by. And right now my best move is to take this knight with my rook. And when they took back, I would then take this pawn for free. So I would have gone down a point of material. And then they would take my bishop and I would take back. And then they would play f5 and I would be ahead +2. Really? Okay, let's just see. Oh, this says that their actual best move is to go ahead and take my bishop now. All right, let's say that they did that, and I would take back, and then they would take my rook, and then I would take this pawn. Their king's not going to come after it? No. Their best move is f5. Let's say they found the best move. Then I would play queen to h5, which aims at this pawn, but their best move is to move this pawn up. I suppose that's to let the queen over, okay? And then my best move is rook to f1, and I'm up +3 now. Or plus 5.8. Well, it doesn't look like it. I know I have some pieces over here by the king, but I can't actually checkmate just yet, can I? I would still be at +2 if I just checked now. Queen to g6, and the king would move over 1, and then, oh wait, yeah, why isn't that higher? Bishop, I could just take the rook. Okay, then it would feel a little bit more like I was ahead. But it says I would be better, I would feel more ahead if I just played this rook here now. Wouldn't that allow them to get their rook out of danger and be able to block the check? I don't know. Okay, they gave me another advantage there when they pushed this pawn. Again, my best move was rook to f1. h3 would have been a move. Oh, you know what? Wow, I forgot the advice of putting pressure on the pinned piece. The knight was pinned. I could have won it with a pawn, but that would have only been 0.49. It says they would have moved the queen over, and I would not have taken the knight. I would have brought my rook over to f1. Okay, so when I played this, that actually gave them a little bit of an advantage, and they took it, and I took back with the bishop. Oh, that was a great move. I couldn't have made that great move if I hadn't have played the miss right before it. And they played one of their top 5 moves here, and I was supposed to put the bishop back. Okay, good. And now they needed to get the queen out of the pin, but they didn't. So now it's back to even. But I didn't play any of those. I did that. It says it's excellent, and we're still close to even, but they weren't supposed to take it. That gives me an advantage if I play h3 now. I did not play h3 now. I took the pawn, which was a miss, but then they blundered. That was a blunder. Oh my. Oh, okay. I was right to take it. That was one thing that I was worried about. Oh, I could have taken it with either the queen or the bishop, and it would have been +4. Okay, so I was up +4 here. Wow. That was not one of their best moves. So I'm at +5 now, or very close to +5. It was my best. Okay. I think I thought about that a move or two later, didn't I? I don't remember exactly when I said it, but I said I needed to probably bring this rook over here to protect my king, but I did not. I checked, which wasn't among my top moves. It's still +4 though. They had many ways to get out of it, and that was one of them. Rook F1 is my best move. I did not play it. I played that, and that is when my opponent played queen to F6, which is not listed here. They should have played it a couple of times earlier and they didn't, but okay. Right here, I should have seen this. Rook to F1. Rook to D1 would have been fine. Even rook to B1 would have been okay, or C1. Any of those squares on the back rank would have been fine. I just thought they were getting out of the pin, and that was my mistake. Worse than a mistake, it was a blunder. They gave away the game, and I have to get better about asking what does my opponent want, and maybe going beyond the obvious. Obviously, they wanted to get out of the pin. But yeah, I had to move this rook to probably, yeah, any of those 4 places would have been great. But probably, yeah, F1, it makes sense that it's the best. It aims here. I would have been fine. But instead I did that and it's made into, yeah. Okay, so good job to my opponent for finding that, and bad job to me for missing it. Yeah, I actually did have to block with the bishop, and I did, and then block with the queen. Yeah, those were the only legal moves at that point, so... Well, I was up +5 with just a couple of moves to go, and I blew it. I'll take the lesson from that. When you think, oh, my opponent's just getting out of the pin, take a second, see what they're looking at. My mistake here was the thing that I have done several times in the past, and some of my opponents have done it, which is once you get it in your head that a certain piece is defended or a certain piece is off limits for whatever reason, you have to keep checking that piece. You can't just catalog it as safe or doing its job over there in the corner and nothing's going to hurt it. You have to keep checking that catalog to make sure, is that rook still safe? That, of course, is one reason to play longer games. You would have more time between each turn to check every piece that you thought was safe. Is this piece still safe? Is that piece still safe? Is this pawn still defending that square? And so on. That's a lesson that I've been trying to teach myself all year long, which is to ask what my opponent wants to see what they're pointing at. Maybe I'll get it next year. Thank you for spending your time here, as always, and I'll see you in the next one.